Hello everybody, this is Victor Santana at StockHunters.com for Thursday, September 22nd. And what a day today. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the market action. And here we are looking at the daily chart of the U.S. total markets, ETF symbol TMW. And as you can see, we're still trading below the 100-day moving average and the 50 and the 18 here, which is all very bearish. And we also have the 8-day simple moving average here. And we had this large gap down here to start the day, and it just continued and closed further below. Alright, so what does this all mean? Well, it looks like we are breaking down this longer trend line here, which we could draw a line right up here and kind of put it right across here. You could see we touched it here, again, and then now we got the breakdown. And since this is the second day below this trend line, this pretty much confirms that we may see further downside here. Now, doesn't mean we can't get a bounce in the next few days, maybe even get back up to this trend line to touch, but there's more forces going down than up, more resistance on the upside. So the market goes to the path of least resistance. And here we are looking at the RSI. As you can see, we are now having a setup here to possibly put in a small swing trade. And here's the MACD here, which we use as our trigger signal. However, it's not ready until we get some kind of green bar showing up in this area. As you can see, it's still a negative number in the red. So we'll just be patient and watch and see what happens. It could trade sideways or it could pop up. Who knows? So we'll just be neutral at this moment. Let's break this down into the individual major indices. We're going to go ahead and start with the SASPy. And as you can see, we got the breakdown here, and we got the confirmation here with the large gap. Now looking at the RSI, you can see we are now setting up. We have a setup coming up. And now the MACD is still below, and we still have the negative bars down here, so we haven't got the trigger yet. So we just have to be patient, and we might be near the bottom. We have a potential of possibly tagging this here before getting a little bounce, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll let the markets tell us what it wants to do. And let's go to the Dow. And as you can see with the Dow, same trend line breakdown, today's big gap, and now, however, the difference on this one, it has touched the lower trend line here and then pulled up. We got the setup, and now we're just waiting for the trigger. So this may be the first one to get the bounce here. So we'll just have to wait and see. And see if we get any triggers here to consider going long on this. Now let's go to the Nasdaq, the strongest of them all. And as you could see, it was going up in this trend. It broke down, and actually today is the first day it broke the trend line. Actually, we thought it was going to maybe pull back one more day here, but nope. The large gap down through all these two moving averages, it just stayed down here. It just gapped down to avoid these two lines. So our target could be potentially down in this area here. But looking at the RSI, we just started to get into the oversold area. We're starting to get a setup, but no trigger here. You just have to watch and be patient as well. So just sit on the sidelines on this. Now looking at the small caps, which has been not doing too well, as You can see it's been going kind of on a downward wedge here. It did break down this the first time, so we'll see if we get a continuance of a second day to confirm, or if it's going to go back up in this area. So, but we do have the setup building up. However, in the MACD we do not have a trigger, so we might not get that trigger maybe as early as tomorrow, or maybe Monday or Tuesday. So we'll just have to watch. Now let's go to the global markets. We had this wedge forming here, and sure enough it broke down, and today we're further down here with a little doji on the bottom here. So this confirms the downside, so we'll have to see if this is going to be the bottom of the doji, where we could see maybe a bounce going up in this way, especially if they come up with something over the weekend over there in Europe. We do have the setup already. We're in the setup mode, and now it's just waiting for the trigger signal to go ahead and put a buy stop here. So overall, in short, all the indices are now in oversold mode. See the total markets, the S&P, Nasdaq, the Russells, and again the globals, and the Dow. See, they're all oversold. Okay, so that's how the market looks. Now we have a general feel of the whole market. Let's go ahead and look at what we got as far as plays in play. Okay, first one's AUQ, a gold mining stock. We did put a buy signal up in this area at 1160. Never triggered us in, and it continued on. And so we're going to go ahead and remove this from our playlist. So just take this order off. Next one here is DXD, which is short the Dow, and sure enough we got triggered in here yesterday, and today we got that large gap up, and we exited here with a 6.4 all in basically 24 hours. So that's good. Next one here is FAZ, another one that we closed out, and this one we entered here yesterday, and it just blasted through and gapped up, and this is where we got out with a 19.8%. A very nice move, and you can see we're overbought. So in the MACDs, the trigger line's already on the up. So this is the most important right here, overbought. If you haven't sold, I would put a sell stop pretty tight, maybe around here, or sell half of it. So but we have a long way. We might get pulled back down. Okay, new idea, FCX, Freeport Moran, and this is a copper and gold company, and it has been going down, so we suggest getting in at 28.80 and exiting 26.49, an 8% risk. Excuse me. You may say, okay, well, where's the bounce signal here? Now this is kind of a bottom fishing strategy. So, however, we do have the setup here, and the MACDs, you can see it's way pulled down here. Now, the buy level is going to be the opposite in this case. Let me go and grab this. We pull this up, and there it is. Right there's your level. So we put a buy order right here. So you can get down to this area and touch us. Should trigger you in, and we should get a bounce. Okay, so we'll watch on this. KCI, this one here we got triggered out today with a small 2.3 loss, so that's pretty manageable. So and it's oversold here, but it's pretty weak. So we'll take that out and just move on with the next trade. TZA, Here's another good one. We put an order right here, got triggered in, and today we got that big gap. We got out with the 18.3. Another new idea, VECO. Okay, this one at 27.88, exit 25.95 with a 6.9%, basically 7%. And we have the setup. We haven't got the trigger yet. This one's kind of based on anticipation of. So want to get in early. You want to go in at 27.88. You want to be conservative, maybe go up a little higher at 28.90. But I'm going at 27.88 as long as you stay firm with this sell stop here. We may get a trigger. If we get the bounce to market tomorrow, this may generate a trigger signal. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then the last one, ZSL, shorting the silver, and put an alert to get in here. We got the huge gap, so we got triggered in at this higher end, unfortunately. But the good news is it continued up, and we went ahead and got out with a 2.7%. The reason being is we have some trigger signals back over here, and this has already been close to the top of the RSI, so we wanted to just make it a quick in and out. So we got fortunate enough and got a good pop, and unfortunately we didn't get the pop from down here, but we'll take what the market gives us. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, keep your eyes in the market, and remember, put in stops and your emotions stay out. Take care.